Hey, WTF history crew, welcome to a story that's going to shake you to your core. This is the channel where we dig into the wildest, darkest corners of the past. And today, we're diving into ancient Babylon, 539 BCE, to uncover a secret so horrifying it stopped battle-hardened Persian soldiers in their tracks. This is the tale of Shamash-Edi, a 13-year-old boy chosen by the priests of Marduk. Temple for a ritual that's anything but holy, and the terrifying truth they tried to bury beneath the city. Buckle up, because this one's going to be a wild, chilling ride, and by the end, you'll be questioning everything you thought you knew about power, sacrifice, and truth. Let's get started. Picture Babylon in October 539 BCE, the greatest city in the world, now falling to the Persians. The streets are chaos. Fires rage, people scream, the empire's crumbling. While the city burns above, a squad of Persian treasure hunters, led by a grizzled captain named Kaveh, slips into the temple of Marduk, expecting gold or sacred relics. These guys are tough. Years of war have numbed them to blood and death, but what they find beneath the temple stops them cold. Their torches flicker against ancient stone as they descend into forgotten chambers, the air thick with decay. The youngest soldier, barely 19, digs through what looks like a trash heap broken. Pottery, rotted wood, the junk of a dying empire. His spade hits something hard, and he freezes. "Sir, over here," he says, voice cracking. Kaveh steps forward, and the torchlight reveals Childs. Skeleton, too small, too delicate, tangled among shattered idols and animal bones, like some grotesque offering. The soldiers exchange uneasy glances, but it's what surrounds the bones that makes. Their skin crawl, dozens of clay tablets, carved with crude cuneiform. Kaveh picks one up, his hands trembling. The words are simple but chilling. He is beneath. Another reads, "Do not wake what sleeps below." A third, "The 13th moon brings his return." These aren't treasure maps or prayers. They're warnings left by someone desperate to keep something hidden. The soldiers aren't scholars, but they know this isn't just a grave. It's a secret the Babylonian priests buried. Something so terrible they surrounded it with messages to keep it forgotten. Kaveh orders his men to gather every tablet, every bone. King Cyrus will want to know what they were doing down here, he says, but his voice wavers. They came for loot. They found a nightmare. This story doesn't start with the Persians, though. It begins 13 years earlier with a boy named Shamash-Edi, who just wanted to make his mother proud. He's 13, living in a modest mud brick house on the edge of Babylon's bustling market district. His days are simple joys, grinding barley with his younger sister, Ishtar, teasing her about her clumsy wooden bird carvings, dreaming of helping his father at their stall. Life's tough, but good, until a sunny morning when the air smells of fresh bread and the Tigris sparkles. Then the courtyard goes silent, even the birds stopping, as if they sense what's coming. 3 priests in flowing white robes step through the gate, flanked by 2 guards with gleaming bronze spears. Behind them is a woman, the selector, her face lined with too many years and too many choices. "We seek the one marked by heaven," she announces, her voice flat but commanding. Everyone knows what that means. The temple needs virgin boys, pure and untouched for sacred purposes. Shamash-Edi's mother appears in the doorway, her face pale. She knows the stories. Boys taken for the temple's inner rituals don't return. Families might get coins or a vague message about divine service, but the boys vanish. "Not my son," she whispers, then louder, "Please, not my son." But the temple's word is law. The selector moves through the house, passing over Ishtar, too young, and Shamash Edi's married older brother. Her gaze lands on Shamash Edi. This one, she says, and the world shifts. His mother throws herself between them, begging, offering everything, grain, cloth. Their only goat. His father tries reason, bribes, then threats, his voice rising. The priests are unmoved. You should be honored, the head priest says, cold as stone. Your son will serve the gods. Shamash Edi watches his mother collapse, grabbing his ankles as the guards pull him away, her scream echoing in his ears, the last sound of love he'll hear. They march him through Babylon's streets, and the city feels different. Merchants who called out to him avert their eyes. The baker who slipped him extra bread turns away. His friend Enlil, at his father's stall, meets his gaze for a moment before being yanked inside. The message is clear: forget him. The selector leads, her copper bells jingling, a death knell to Babylon's mothers. Shamash Edi tries to hold onto the markets. Smells the sun's warmth, sensing these are his last moments of normalcy. They approach the temple of Marduk, its ziggurat looming like a man-made mountain. He's been here for festivals, but they head for a small, dark entrance, guarded by men with hard faces and no insignia. The door opens like a hungry mouth, and Shamash Edi steps inside, the gates closing with a finality that chills his bones. The smell hits first, frankincense mixed with something sour, like fear itself. The passage is narrow, lit by flickering oil lamps casting shadows on walls covered in unreadable prayers. The selector leads him deeper, down stairs that spiral endlessly, into parts of the temple the public never sees. She stops in a chamber and says, "Wait here." Then he hears it. Young voices, chanting words older than Babylon, older than Sumer, making his skin crawl like insects under his flesh. Another boy appears, maybe 14, eyes hollow, head shaved, draped in a rough brown robe that can't hide his thinness. "New one?" the boy asks, voice hoarse, like he's been screaming or silent for days. Shamash Edi nods, unable to speak. "I'm Marduk Nasir," the boy says, glancing at the doorway. They don't like names here. "Come, the one he cleaned." Purified, they call it. Marduk Nasir leads him through corridors, past chambers where other boys sit silently, staring at walls with twisting symbols. One rocks back and forth, clutching something. Another traces patterns in the air with trembling fingers. Shamash Edi sees scratches on the walls, fingernails, clawing at stone. "Don't stare," Marduk Nasir whispers. "And don't ask about the ones who aren't here." In a larger chamber, 6 boys sit in a circle, all with hollow eyes, wearing identical brown robes with red cords. "Brothers," Marduk Nasir announces, "we have another." Their expressions mix pity and relief. Pity for Shamash Edi, relief that a new boy might divert the priest's attention. A priest enters, his face hidden behind a bronze mask shaped like a bird of prey. The boys prostrate themselves, but Shamash Edi, confused, stands. The priest's head tilts. "You will learn." The voice behind the mask says, rough as grinding stone. They all learn. That night, Marduk Nasir vanishes. When Shamash Edi asks, the others act like the name never existed. There are only 8 chosen, one says mechanically. Always 8. But Shamash Edi knows there were 9. At dawn, the purification begins. They strip him, burn his clothes, shave his body. The water smells of blood mixed with sacred oils. They take his name. "You are not Shamash Edi," the masked priest says. "You are the vessel, empty, waiting for divine purpose." Hours of chanting follow, words eroding his mind's defenses. Some boys chant perfectly, others mumble. One smiles at something unseen. They tie a red cord around his waist, tight enough to bite. This binds you to your purpose, the priest says. Remove it, and the gods will know. The punishment is creative. At night, they sleep on stone slabs, no windows, no hope. A boy whispers, tomorrow begins the real preparation. Today was just to see if you'd break. Shamash Idi asks what's next, and the boys' laugh is hollow. Tomorrow, they start turning us into what the ritual requires. The air grows heavier, the chamber colder, and Shamash Idi feels a hollow space inside him, waiting to be filled by something he can't yet name. The copper bells wake him, their clanging drilling into his skull. No morning light, just priests in bronze masks hissing, rise vessels the gods' hunger. Sleep was 3 hours, and now the boys stand shivering as priests inspect them like livestock. One sways, exhausted, and a priest strikes him with a reed switch, the crack echoing. Weakness offends heaven. The priest snaps. Days blur into ritual and deprivation. Prayers in an ancient tongue. Purifications with blood-scented water. Lessons in words that ache in the mind. Falter, and they start over. By the 10th chant, Shamash Idi's legs tremble, his throat burns, his vision swims. The priests keep them awake with freezing water, pounding drums, sharp reeds. 6 days without sleep, and reality fractures. Walls ripple like water. Faces whisper in shadows. Nabu Shalim breaks. During prayers, laughing jaggedly as blood trickles from his nose. The priests drag him away, and by morning there are 7 boys. Where did he go? Shamash Adi asks. Who? A priest replies, as if Nabu Shalim never existed. Always 7. But Shamash Idi remembers 8. The priests find what breaks each boy fastest: darkness, water, isolation. For Shamash Idi, it's a box of keepsakes, his sister's wooden bird, burned before his eyes. He lunges for it, screaming, fighting until they lock him in a silence chamber, a stone box where sound dies. Hours, maybe days, pass, his mind replaying his mother's scream. When released, he can't speak for 2 days, his voice older, broken. The boys bond in their suffering, moving in unison, sharing dreams of corridors that don't exist. We're becoming ready, one whispers. The emptiness grows. Shamash Idi feels it, a hollow where his identity was. On the 13th night, they're led to the sacred chamber, 3 levels below, through a door needing 3 keys. The air is cold, smelling of lotus, myrrh, copper, death. The chamber's black stone walls, unlike anything near Babylon, curve into darkness, covered in moving symbols. Bronze instruments, hooks, blades, restraints, hang stained with use. A pit, 8 feet wide, lined with black stone, exhales a living darkness. The mouth of Tiamat, the high priest says, his chimera mask grotesque. The gateway, the hunger. Screams rise from below, warped, inhuman. The priests explain. Every 13 moons, the gateway weakens, demanding virgin boys, their suffering. Binding it. The red cords are leashes, the hooks and blades to shape their pain. You will not die, the high priest says. Death ends your usefulness. Your suffering bridges worlds. A boy sobs, and a priest nods. Tears have power. They show tablets with pre-flood symbols, burning to look at, causing nosebleeds. The boys must memorize them, speak them during the ritual. Shamash Idi notices. The priest correcting him has scars beneath his mask, carved with those symbols. What happens after? A boy asks. The priest's silence stretches then. The fortunate die. The less fortunate persist. In states they shouldn't. He gestures to the pit. 3 predecessors still serve below. Shamash Edi's body changes. Bruises bloom, his hair falls out, his spine twists painfully, forcing a hunch. Another boy grows scales. Shamash Umi speaks in a low, harmonic voice. The priests call it becoming sacred, but it feels like invasion. Shamash Edi's legs weaken, his skin glows green, pulsing out of sync with the festival drums above. They're fed lotus petals soaked in pit oils, accelerating the changes. His spine cracks into new shapes, his legs harden into stalks. Reaching for the pit, visions come. Past boys, trapped in walls, still suffering. He sees Nergalin, embedded in stone, pleading. The transparent-skinned boy is prepared first, wired with copper. His organs pulsing with light. Lowered over the pit, his eyes meet Shamash Edi's, accepting his fate as the gateway tastes him. The festival drums shake the chamber, syncing with Shamash Edi's. Heartbeat, his spine reshaping with each beat. The transparent boy is gone by morning, his screams confirming he's not dead but changed. The boy with impossible joints, limbs bending unnaturally, is next. Shamash Edi's prophecies spill out. Rain's hour, palace betrayals, armies from the north. The priests are uneasy. He sees too far, one says. The gateway claims him. The boy with joints is lower but laughs, a cosmic, wrong sound cracking the walls. The pit laughs back, the chamber shakes, and 6 priests are lost, their minds broken by what they see. The high priest declares, "We complete the ritual tomorrow, ready or not." Shamash Edi's body is failing, his glow erratic, his heart slowing. The chamber is chaos, the pit's darkness a thick substance eating light. The boy with joints is lost, his laughter snapping wires, his screams inhuman. Only Shamash Edi remains, his spine a jagged arc, legs useless, skin glowing erratically. The priests bind him with oil-soaked ropes, chanting words that solidify the air. Inanna, a servant girl, watches from a hidden alcove, carving tablets. The last boy glows like a star. His spirit fights. She's 16, invisible to the priests, her kitchen knife etching truth. Boys' names, their suffering, the priest's lies. She overhears the high priest. We fed it too long. It expects its meal. She carves. The priests fed the darkness. It demands more. The festival peaks above, oblivious to the catastrophe below. Shamash Edi's heart stutters as the high priest chants, his glow fading. Inanna sees it, carving. He fades before the pit can claim him. The priest, mask off, his scarred face panicked, tries to force life into him. But Shamash Edi's last breath comes as the chant ends. The pit roars, a disappointed presence shaking the walls. Darkness pours out, rusting instruments, aging stone. Burn everything, the high priest screams. They wrap Shamash Edi's body, bury it in the refuge pit. With broken idols. Inanna carves. His name was Shamash Edi. He fought until the end. She hides tablets everywhere, knowing the truth must survive. The priests burn scrolls, collapse tunnels, seal chambers, but the breathing in the walls grows louder. Inanna's tablets multiply. They bury him in shame. He broke their ritual. The city feels it. Walls sigh, children speak prophecies. Food rots. Priests who touched Shamash Edi sicken, their bodies mirroring the boy's transformations. The high priest, scales on his arms, chants backwards, his blind eye twitching. Inanna carves. The priests suffer what they inflicted. The Persians breach the walls, and Kaveh's squad finds Shamash Edi's body, surrounded by Inanna's tablets. He is beneath. Do not wake what sleeps below. Cyrus orders them preserved, the temple sealed, But the breathing persists, poisoning Babylon. The city decays. Merchants hear sobbing. Scribe spines twist. Children speak the ancient tongue. Inanna's tablets, hidden across the temple, ensure the truth endures. His death broke their ritual. His freedom killed the empire. The Persians govern a cursed city, the stone boy in the throne room. Apelmanoskah. Centuries later, archaeologists find Inanna's words, shuddering at their weight. Here lies a boy who saved Babylon by failing to die properly. His name was Shamash-Iddi. The ruins still breathe, a warning of power's cost. Inanna's courage, a servant girl's defiance, outlasts an empire, proving truth is stronger than fire. This story hits hard, folks. It's about power abusing the vulnerable, institutions hiding behind sacred lies, and one girl's quiet rebellion. Inanna couldn't save Shamash-Iddi, but she gave him a voice, and that voice echoes. Today, what systems do we let silence the vulnerable? What truths are we carving? Drop a like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. What hit you hardest? Shamash-Iddi's sacrifice, Inanna's bravery, or the gateway's lingering hunger? If you want more stories that uncover history's dark truths, let me know. This is WTF History, signing off.